are the ingredients that makes up medical tourism? Why are we not having the conversations on how to make medical tourism a form of revenue generating formula for Nigeria? Why are we not putting medical or opening up medical practice in Nigeria to ensure that facilities and managers in terms of medical forefront are taking the bull by the horn in expanding the frontiers of medical conversations in Nigeria? Well, these are some of the issues that we'll be looking at this morning, even on this table. Now, joining me in this conversation around medical issues and medical tourism in Nigeria is Isa Usman. Isa Usman is a medical tourism specialist, and he will be helping us to put these issues in perspective this morning. But first, before we get into the conversation, I want to say welcome Isa Usman to Signature Morning.
Yeah, good morning, my brother, and thank you for inviting me for a crucial discussion on medical tourism.
All right, so let's get into this conversation right away. The issues around medical tourism has become like a non-discussable conversation in Nigeria. Many people don't even know what medical tourism is. So let's begin with you giving us an overview of what is medical tourism.
To start with, medical tourism has been there for years, but unnoticed. And the funniest thing is that many Nigerians are ignorant of medical tourism. And those that think they have the knowledge don't have its right knowledge. The reason why I say so is not far-fetched. If you ask any Nigerians about their understanding of medical tourism, they will simply say medical tourism is not all about traveling abroad for medical treatments. This school of thought has narrowed down medical tourism to outbound medical tourism only, while the real concept of medical tourism encompasses intraband, inbound, and outbound medical tourism. What I mean by intraband is also known as domestic medical tourism, which has to do with traveling within the state or the local government one is residing in the quest for quality medical treatments. For example, a patient can travel from Amak to Kwali Area Council or to Buhari or Gwagwalada Area Council is medical tourism. Or a patient can travel from Abuja to Lagos, to Port Harcourt, to Kano for medical tourism is medical tourism. So medical tourism does not mean traveling abroad for medical treatments only. Then it also means traveling from where one is residing, like patient traveling from here now to India, Thailand, Singapore, Mexico, Ukraine. That is outbound medical tourism. Then inbound has to do with patients coming from their own country to your own country to receive medical attention. So medical tourism does not mean traveling abroad for medical treatment only. It's all encompassing. And if medical tourism is even all about traveling abroad for medical treatments, is Nigeria not abroad?
All right.
For people to come in and receive
so
treatments.
let's even get into that conversation.
Okay.
Looking at tourism in itself,
No.
Nigeria has a lot of tourism potentials. So we're asking, let's talk the inbound, as you mentioned. Why are people not coming into Nigeria for medical tourism?
Yeah, the reason why people are not coming to Nigeria for medical treatments is that we are not known. And as you know, there is a policy on healthcare promotion, healthcare advertising. Some of our local healthcare service providers are saying that it's not good to advertise, that is against ethics of medical practice. Some people say you can promote, you cannot advertise. The issue has to be clear because there are many good things happening in our health sector that people don't know. I was in Jordan last time when we toured top-ranking hospitals in Jordan. There's a hospital we went, one of the popular hospitals there, in which I'm not going to call the name. And they were telling us how they separate conjoined twins successfully. And I said, oh, if separation of conjoined twins is one of the greatest achievements, we have 3 hospitals in Nigeria that have separated conjoined twins successfully, but the news did not go viral. One of the hospitals is National Hospital, University of Ilorin Teaching Hospital, and FMC Yola. Separated conjoined twins successfully, but the news does not go viral. Okay, what about the one that happened last year in Lagos? There's a popular hospital called Lagoon Hospital. Lagoon Hospital, come and pay me for adverts.
Okay. So no, they
They-
won't pay you.
they-
They'll pay Signature TV. Don't worry.
they have to pay.
They'll pay Signature TV
They have to
for
pay.
their,
Yeah,
yeah.
because we're advertising them.
No,
They did a serious operation there, and it was successful. There's a popular known blogger, head blogger called Apoko Doctor. He was having brain tumor, and he was operated successfully in Lagoon Hospital. And as we are talking, the guy is living healthy. So it's because there are many things happening in our health sector, many good things, but our local healthcare service provider don't have that platform to be known. Yeah.
All right. So you've mentioned one of the reasons why people don't come into Nigeria for.
Yeah. We're not promoting what we
But
have.
then we look at Ministry of Health. We've not seen departments, we've not seen agencies in the Ministry of Health that handle specifically medical tourism. Can this also be a factor why we are not talking medical tourism
No.
or taking the conversation around
They
medical
don't,
tourism serious?
they don't know.
I don't
Because
understand.
what I mean that they don't know is that you cannot give what you don't have.
But it's still medical, it's still under the Ministry of Health.
No, it's not because of medical.
Okay.
It's not because it's just medical. Medical tourism is not just in medical. It's two sectors that are together. That is the health and tourism.
But it's facilitation.
So they only know about the medical personnel. They only train for medical business, and they already they train how to treat patients. They don't train them about the business or aspect of medical. You understand?
Okay.
So now, like as I said earlier, you can't give what you don't have. There are people that are specialized. You know, there are three parties in healthcare. We have clinicians. These has to do with medical personnel. We have non-clinicians. Then we have a healthcare facilitator. So Nigeria health sector is lacking healthcare facilitators because there's no business in our health sector. And that is why we are not doing well medically. We are not doing well medically because we don't see healthcare as a business. We only see healthcare as a charitable organization. And that is the main reason why we are not been getting investors in our health sector. Because investors are interested to come to where there's three things. What are those things? Where their capital will be secured, where the return on investment is guaranteed, as at when due. So in our health sector, you cannot find this because we are running healthcare as a charitable organization. Healthcare, to be honest, healthcare is expensive everywhere in the world. Do you know how much it takes to buy a machine, equipment, latest sophisticated equipment, cutting-edge technology? For example, in Nigeria or Africa, we don't have gamma knife machine. We don't have saber knife, the latest technology they are using to cure cancers. But we have people in Nigeria, all these top government officials, they have money that can buy 3 or 4 of it. But they won't buy because they don't know. Their knowledge is not there. They don't have the knowledge of it. Yeah, gamma knife, saber knife, and there are many sophisticated machines that are coming into the sector year in, year out, in which we have people that can single-handedly buy it. But when they buy it, would they going to keep it for it to dilapidate? And another major challenge we also have is maintenance culture. Even though we bring all this machine, we cannot maintain it because you need money to maintain it. And we are running healthcare as a charitable organization.
You mentioned that.
You understand?
Yeah.
So the only thing that can bring investment in our health sector is by us embrace medical tourism, which is the only way out of the challenges we are facing in our health sector. And if anybody that know any alternative or any better solution, it should bring it, a part of embracing medical tourism.
So this leads me to my next question. In terms of medical tourism right now, where are we in the scale of 1 to 100 Nigerian right now? Now, you've mentioned 2 ways. If we do it, whether we are going out or we are coming in, both is medical tourism.
Yeah.
So you rightly said. So where are we right now? Are we topping the list? Are we making? Let's know where Nigeria is so that we can now.
Well, we have 7 countries promoting medical tourism
in Nigeria, in Africa. Okay, Nigeria is number 1.
Nigeria are supposed to be at the front burner. We are here to be among. The countries include Egypt, South Africa, Tunisia, Morocco, Algeria, Kenya, and Tanzania. So Nigeria, they're supposed to be on the front burner, we are not among. And if you go up, the funniest thing is that many of our local healthcare service providers that have relocated from Nigeria, they are abroad giving good names to foreign hospitals. That's the most painful part. By the time we embrace medical tourism, you see many of them will start coming back in good number to contribute their quota to the growth of Nigeria health sector.
Now it's laughable though, but then let's also talk about these issues around medical tourism. Are there laws that guides the creation of, but probably this can be a limiting factor that is making Nigerian government not to want to look into medical tourism in its real sense of it. Are there laws that have been put in place that governs or guide the creation of medical tourism in Nigeria?
As at now, there's no law. There's no law because I was with Chairman Committee on Health in House of Rep the other time. We're interacting and asking that is there any law that guided medical tourism in Nigeria? He told me no. But there was a time they were trying to make a law for top government official, those are the aims of affairs, not to use public funds to travel abroad for medical treatment. But if they have their own personal money, they can travel. I don't think there's any law as at now, so I don't want to say yes or no. But for now, I don't think.
So if there are no laws and Nigeria is not topping the list, what's the way forward for Nigeria in terms of medical tourism?
Okay, the way out now is that there is a bird called tree climb birds.
Okay.
I don't know if you have heard of the bird. I believe not to just fly and perch on the tree. So when you see tree climb birds flying and you want to perch on the tree, you first of all come to the root and go and start climbing it. Start climbing the tree up. So if we want to go into promotion of medical tourism, there is strategies and there's a step to take. So the first step is for us to start developing. We don't feel we are zero, we don't have anything. We should start from developing, okay, what do we need to do? We have to bring government on board. Government has to make a policy. We have to start from policy. Now, before I even talk of government policy, there's something I want to also let you know. I have been saying time without number that you cannot give what you don't have. So if you want to solve Nigeria problem in health sector, there are two problems, you understand, facing Nigeria health sector. But you have to solve one before the another one. The problems are the problem of enabling environment. And it's only government that can provide enabling environment. Because we have problem within the health sector and we have problem outside the health sector. The problem of within the health sector is only medical tourism that can solve it. The problem outside the health sector is only government that can solve it. For example, the problem of enabling environment, like as I said earlier, there's no stable power supply, there's no water, and there's no good road. And policy, most of the policy are not favoring healthcare service providers. So start with, you have to start from even policy first. Government has to make a policy that will favor healthcare service providers, healthcare facilitators, and healthcare seekers. So when the policy is made, the government has to provide the enabling environment, such as stable power supply, light, road, and water. So when all these things are in places, then we cannot introduce medical tourism. And to introduce medical tourism, you cannot start promoting inbound first. You have to start from intraband, which is domestic medical tourism. You have to build it for your citizens to start enjoying it first. The citizens have to start enjoying it. Then when the citizens start enjoying it, then you cannot boldly go out that, okay, we are set, we are doing well medically now. You cannot start announcing it. Advancement in technology has made things easy for us now. Social medias are there to make the information to be everywhere. The media people are there to make the information to be everywhere. So when we start doing well medically and our citizens are enjoying, we cannot go out. Come, our citizens are enjoying quality treatments at low cost. So come and enjoy what our citizens are enjoying. And that is what India did. That is what Jordan did. That is what Thailand, Singapore, Mexico, Ukraine, Thailand. I'm mentioning top-ranking medical tourism destination, Canada, UK, US. So when we start promoting urban medical, urban medical tourism, then foreign investors to start attracting them to start coming in good numbers, want to invest in Nigeria. Last time I was watching a program that has to do with unveiling Nigeria Healthcare Renewal Investment Initiative by His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So I was happy because when they talk of investment, I said, okay, now we are talking of investment. And we are not talking of strategies, you understand? Because I watched the program, nobody has come up with the strategies to use to achieve that. And we as a medical tourism specialist, we are out to give strategies to achieve the vision of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Because what we are doing presently now is in line with his renewed hope agenda. And is also unveiling the Nigeria health sector renewal and investment initiative.
This really sounds it sounds very interesting. But then let's take this conversation again to the grassroots, to local governments in Nigeria. I believe a lot of people do medical tourism, but they're not aware that it is medical tourism. We're seeing our locals practice a situation where you move your sibling using the herbal traditional practice to another village, another community for treatment. Let's talk about these local areas. You have been at the forefront of tourism advancement, medical tourism advancement in Nigeria. And you have a team, just like we have other themes that are scattered around the country. I know you did a program last month, if I'm right.
Yes.
So you did a program last month. But
Yes.
then we are asking, what are the modalities to drive home tourism, medical tourism, to the grassroots? Because people at the grassroots need to be enlightened on what some of their plans and their policies and their programs, initiatives been put in place for them to enhance at the local level.
Yeah, medical tourism even started from the grassroots. If you look at the origin of
And
medical
but
tourism.
they don't call it medical tourism.
Yeah, it's medical tourism.
Because it's not
It's just because
strategized.
it's not known to us yet.
Okay.
Yes. Where did medical tourism even started from? It started from Greece, where people will go to river. There's a river they will go and take a shower. They will bath in the river, and they believe that river do two things for them. When they bath, it cleans them. You understand, physically. Then it also cleans them spiritually. So whenever they have cases, then people go to the river. They have health challenge. They go there and bath, and when they leave the river, they feel that they are okay. You understand? So, and people will start coming from different locations, you understand, to take bath in the river. And with their belief, once they take bath, they became healed. So now this initiative we come up with is an initiative that will benefit the less privileged Nigeria, the common men that cannot afford to travel abroad for medical treatments. It's not everybody that have money to travel abroad for medical treatments. I can say that people traveling abroad for medical treatments are not up to 10% of population of Nigeria. Sure of us. So are we to leave common men, the less privileged people, to die? So now this initiative, how is it going to benefit the less privileged people? It will benefit them in many ways. The number one benefit of this initiative, not for individual, for the even entire nation, one, it will going to improve our standard of care. Because our standard of care is poor. That is why you see those that have money, whenever they have chronic or they have health challenge, they travel abroad for medical treatments.
For medical tourism.
Yes. So then, part of even improve our standard of care, it also reduce the rate of brain drain, which is the headache of this country. Day in, day out, our local healthcare service providers are relocating abroad in good numbers. But they gave other nickname called Japa Abija. I'm not Yoruba, so I cannot pronounce it well. You understand? They are relocating in good numbers. And what they are lacking that is making them to relocate is only when we embrace medical tourism that those things are going to come. Because some of them is not because of the remuneration. Remuneration is even the number one thing why many of our local healthcare service providers are relocating abroad. But some people it's not even because of the remuneration, because some of them are incapacitated. They don't have access to latest equipment, sophisticated equipment to work with. I don't know if you're getting me.
No, I am. What you're talking, I'm thinking about a lot of things,
So about security threats, lack of career progression. If you go to some of our local healthcare service providers, you pretty for some of our doctors. Some of them, they are with patients they will be eating because they don't have that time. The cases they will see, even if it's their break time, they can't go out. Out of pity, they will stay, be attending to patients, be eating. You understand?
Yeah.
So this issue is a serious issue. So I talk of the benefits that it's going to improve our standard of care. It will reduce the brain drain in our health sector. It's also going to reduce the rate of outbound medical tourism. It will create jobs and investment opportunities for Nigeria. Then lastly, it will going to generate foreign revenue for us and increase our GDP ratio. So the benefit of this initiative is enormous.
Well, just in case you're just joining us, I'm talking with Isa Usman, who is a medical tourism specialist, and we're talking about medical tourism in Nigeria and looking at it from a very crucial perspective. So right now, let's talk about the cost implication of medical tourism in Nigeria, like a procedure that we try to look at generally. If one wants to start up a medical tourism as a business, because you mentioned it as a business, yes. One want to go into medical tourism, what is the cost implication? Are there modalities? Lead us through the process so that we won't blame Nigerians for not doing what they don't know how to do. How do one come into this business? How do one even recognize that medical tourism is a business in itself?
Okay, now to answer your question properly, like as I said, time without numbers, that they don't have the knowledge of it, and we are trying to carry Nigerians along because many people are jobless, especially our youths. You understand, and it's a business that they can learn and start with little capital.
Are there schools that train people?
Yes. We have
okay, are there degree programs one need to do to become medical tourists?
Yeah, but the school is not yet in Nigeria.
Okay.
It's not yet in Nigeria. So, but we have an institute that we use to train whoever wants to learn the business. We have an institute and we just charge peanuts.
No, let's not talk about the school.
It's something that we'll discuss, you understand? After whoever is interested to learn this business can contact your station.
So what we're saying, let's never talk about your school yet. Let's not talk about the school that train.
Okay.
You understand? First, one purpose of a thing is not known.
Okay.
Abuse is definitely inevitable.
Okay, I want to get your question right.
Okay, so this is what I'm asking at this point. People want to, now you've talked about medical tourism as a business.
Yes.
That Nigerians don't know that this is a business in itself. Now we know that medical tourism is a business. Okay. But youth out there, you rightly mentioned that a lot of Nigerian youth are unemployed. Yeah. How can they get involved in this medical tourism as a business? How do they see it? How do they be able to identify the potentials that have yet to be harnessed in the tourism potential of medical tourism potentials in Nigeria?
So now it's simple. We have written to Ministry of Health several times because now we are looking at it from the broad aspect of of it.
Because tourism,
so
tourism you said is broad.
We have written to Ministry of Health and see how they can create a department for this. So health education, advocacy, and promotion is part of our NGO. And we can't do this alone because Nigeria is big. So if we want to reach, how many people can we reach on our own? But if we have the government backup and government is involved, I don't know if I'm answering your question.
So let me put it in perspective.
Yeah.
I'm asking again.
Okay.
Are there ways that youth can see potentials in the medical tourism and see it as a business?
Yes.
And without even going through this, are there ways one can just see the potentials and begin to harness the goodness that are just like tourism, for example. An average person can come into.
The only way they can see is through advocacy, promotion. When we start promoting medical tourism, I'll say maybe as well, like one of the strategies is this. You understand? Because many people they don't know. I know people are following us from all over the world now, and they are hearing what we are discussing here. So as they are hearing, and we have to also increase our level of publicity so that it can get to the timid youth. So from there, you may not know who will pick interest in this and want to know more about it.
So invariably, you're saying,
Yeah.
a person can't just wake up in the morning
Yeah.
and take up medical tourism as a career.
Yes.
Just like every other normal field in the tourism space. Because I know tourism is a very big field.
Yeah.
It's very big.
Yes.
Now we're narrowing it down to medical.
Yes.
People can wake up, just behind the studio here, we have a tourist site.
Yes.
And people I can wake up in the morning and say, okay, I want to take this up as a business.
Yeah.
Where I can be bringing people to the site, to the
Yes.
location to come do sightseeing.
Yes.
I can put a flyer everywhere.
Yes.
I can take that up as a business
Yes.
within the tourism space.
Yes.
So are you telling me at this point that there are no grounds that one can see medical tourism as a business?
Yeah. The issue there is there's one thing you fail to understand.
Okay.
For example, if you are going to Google to charge for some information, you charge for information based on what you know, because computer has to do with garbage in, garbage out.
Yeah.
You understand? So if you want to say, okay, for example, you have heard about medical tourism and say, okay, medical tourism is a business. Before people don't know. Once you put the information on your search engine, you understand? Many informations will start coming up, you understand? Many informations will start coming, you start learning more about it. I'm trained by Indians. And how I started, if I tell you, you'll be shocked.
Please go ahead. No, I'm open to listen.
You will be shocked. Yeah, I'm that kind of person right from my childhood. I always like to involve anything that is not common. Anything unique that is not common. So I started as a travel agent. So I was into ticketing, writing of ticketing, processing of visa and other travel documents. So I started trade. After that, I felt much love for the business, and I started developing myself because most of things I know today, I learned many of them myself. Then I met Indians that started training me about this medical tourism business. So now, today, I can say that I'm one of the renowned medical tourism specialists, not just in Africa, it's what at large, because of my determination. So whoever want to, they must not give you everything. This is an interview. So once you hear, okay, medical tourism and it's the business, okay, how do I go into? But the problem many people are going to have in searching for this information, because you know Oibos, they put informations that will favor them online. Most of things are things that favor them. Because when you go online and you are searching of medical tourism, I can say 99% of definition of medical tourism you will see is medical tourism all about traveling abroad for medical treatments.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking that question, because all through the internet that we're not seeing the business angle to it. So,
So if
yeah.
you are going online to search what is medical tourism, they'll simply tell you that medical tourism is all about traveling abroad for medical treatments. And you may be wondering, okay, these two definitions, maybe my definition, because I say is that traveling from when one is residing to another location in the quest for quality treatments. I didn't mention abroad yet. So you may say that maybe the two definitions is contradicting each other. And you may be confused. Why medical tourism is all about traveling abroad for medical treatment? And this guy says traveling from when one. So what is even tourism itself? Because it's from the tourism that you get the real definition of medical tourism. Like I told you earlier, I said tourism itself has to do with traveling from when one is residing to another location for whatever purpose. It may be for business tourism, educational tourism, people traveling for sightseeing, pilgrimage, and others.
Issa, before I allow you continue, let me take this as a last question, because I've already signaled that our time is fast spent. Let's look at these issues of medical tourism. Most times, medical doctors shy away from the conversations around medical tourism, and in most conferences that we've attended, we see when it has to do with medical tourism, we bring in doctors to come talk about medical tourism. And sometimes medical tourism, as it's were, it's been misrepresented in different light. So we're not asking at this point in time.
Okay, I'm sorry to cut you. Let me, since we're about to round up, because this information is very important.
All right.
You, like as I said earlier, you cannot give what you don't have.
Yeah.
Many of our local healthcare service providers don't want to hear about medical tourism because of their understanding
So why is
about
that?
medical tourism.
Okay.
And the reason why they don't want to hear about medical tourism is because of what we are losing to outbound medical tourism year in, year out. You know, it's no longer a news that Nigeria loses no less than $2 billion to outbound medical tourism annually. And the entire Africa loses over $2 billion to outbound medical tourism annually. So it means Nigeria alone constitutes 70 to 80% of the expenditure. Now the question is, this question I don't want answer, is a rhetorical question. The question is, how long will Nigeria economy or the entire Africa economy continue to bleed this way? So now the aggression is that why not use this money to develop our own instead of using this money to be sending patients? And medical tourism is ongoing on the daily basis locally in Nigeria, but unnoticed because they don't know that it's medical tourism. So now let's look for how we will start developing our own. We have to start developing our own. So that to attract outsiders to start coming and benefiting from what our citizens are benefiting.
Well, there are a lot of conversations that I want to raise on this table right now, but our time is fast spent. I want to also raise the conversations around remunerations by medical tourists, the kind of bills they charge, and some of the how they get notice out there. Are they being bounded by even the medical laws that says that medical doctors cannot advertise in Nigeria? Our medical tourist specialists also bounded by some of the rules that governs trado medical practices in Nigeria. Now, I know you're already eager to answer some of these questions, but I've been signaled that our time is fast.
Okay,
Probably we'll have to do this some other time again. I want to say thank you so much.
Thank you, my brother. I know Nigerians and Africa and the world at large might have learned from our conversation.
Yeah, I believe they've learned. Well,
something fresh.
Yeah. I can't agree less. But viewers, this is how far we can go today on a signature morning. I want to say thank you so much for standing by and staying with us even until this time. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media handle and ensure that you don't just follow, you also interact. Let us get those conversations coming in on our various social media handle, likely displayed on your screen right now. Let's know what you think about the conversation that has been raised right now on medical tourism in Nigeria. Are we getting it right? What can be done to ensure that we also support the government with our one token to push for more medical tourism attractions and also ensure that we beautify the space of medical tourism in Nigeria to make it more lucrative for anybody and everybody to come into the space. Well, let the conversations keep coming, like I said before. I am Godwin Sunday, and from all of us here in the studio, it's bye for now.